This channel supports Extra Life in its efforts to raise money for the Children's Miracle Network. For more information about how to donate and join in their efforts, go to the link displayed here. Extra Life. Play games, heal kids.
What up, everybody? This is your boy Blak Magus, and another old gamer rant for you guys. We're going to talk about content creators. I mentioned it in a previous video, and I wanted to just expand on that because I've realized something about myself. As a content creator, I am the anti-content creators content creator. And the reason I say that is because there are just certain things that I believe that we as content creators do and that we try to express and that we try to put out there that's just wrong and isn't necessarily helpful to the gaming community or to gaming as a whole. The reason I say that is because when you're a content creator and you start to gain influence and things like that, sometimes you can kind of go off the rails, so to speak. Thing about being a content creator is you're doing this in hopes of, if you're a small person like me, you're in hopes of gaining, some type of momentum to where you can start making content and doing reviews or just discussions about game topics, just doing gameplay, however you want to do it, playthroughs. You want this to be something that you can profit from. I mean, let's be honest, that's the bottom line of why a lot of people push hard to put out content and try to make the best content that they can, because they would like to benefit from doing this and possibly make this a career. You know what I mean? Some of us just do it as a hobby, which is cool. But you will find that the majority of the people that do YouTube, Twitch, and things like that, they have an end game. I mean, I'm totally honest with you guys. I would love to do this, but at the same time, I know that right now is not a position where I can make that push. So I'm gonna keep having fun with it. If it gets to that point, I'm gonna still keep having fun with it, because that's one thing I don't want to lose about making content. Is I don't want to lose the feeling of having fun doing it. I don't want to feel trapped into thinking I have to do certain things just in order to make sure that my content grows. I want to do it on my own terms, and I want to continue to do it on my own terms, whether I get big or not. Same thing with the podcast and all that stuff. I just want to make sure that when I'm doing this, it's not just I'm doing it with the sole purpose of making a buck, or I'm doing only the things that I know would profit me. I want to make sure that I give you guys as much honest and entertaining content that I can. That being said, of course, a lot of content creators who start to gain, once you get to a certain point, you start to be a lot more conscious of the business aspect and think of things like, what exactly do I need to do to continue to grow and to keep people engaged? And this is where it falls to the gaming thing, because a lot of people who make their way to that level where they can start thinking of this as a serious career, it's usually a certain game or a certain class of games that get them there. And we as content creators end up having this weird thing where we feel like our influence is so great that companies need to start developing games with us in mind. And, while I can understand that sentiment, I'm not a fan of it, and I don't totally agree with it, because as a content creator, wow, I just flubbed that word. As a content creator, sorry guys, I feel like to have a game built with us in mind, it's generally counterintuitive to what we as gamers really want or really need from game companies. What we need for game companies to do in reality is not to make a game so that it's very streamable, people will want to watch, because you hear that a lot of times on Twitch. A lot of people say they won't play a particular game that's considered a good game because it doesn't draw a lot of views, and I've heard content creators say that they need to start catering to what's stream friendly and things like that, or like what's video friendly for YouTube if you just do YouTube and stuff like that. Like what's more conducive for the stuff that I want to put out as a content creator to get people engaged. And I think it's a bad idea. And you know, the gaming industry themselves have a lot to blame for it, because they started letting the door open for content creators to come and give advice and critique stuff, come to the places. While I think that's a very cool thing, sometimes it can become kind of hectic and counterintuitive again, because a lot of people are looking to see, is this the next thing that can build my stream or build my YouTube channel and propel me and things like that. So you get a kind of clouded message, in my opinion, when it comes to content creators and games, because a lot of what our opinions as content creators, you know, I try my best not to do that, but I'm sure I've done it before. I'm not even going to sit here and say that I've never done it, because I don't recall ever doing it, but I'm sure there's been a moment where I've gone to bat, probably Destiny, where I've gone to bat for a game, um, and pushed certain agendas based on what type of content I like to put out. Um, it's a weird situation that we are in this point of gaming, because you know these things like streaming, YouTube, you know, they're old now, but there's still new technologies and new forms of engaging with games, because we've gone so many years before people could actually share their gameplay directly with other people or upload it and things like that. That it's a weird situation. It's a very weird situation to me, but you know, I think that game companies should try to resist more in involving content creators. I would like to see them invest a lot of time in finding people within the community who are fans of certain things, bring them in, let them try certain things, because content creators, when they go to a special event, they want to bring back content. You know what I mean? It's not. I'm not, and I'm, you know, as a content creator, to all you content creators out there, I'm not dissing us for how we do things, because at the end of the day, this has become a business, and it's a very lucrative business for a lot of people, and I understand why you would want to do that. That being said, we have to kind of rein ourselves back, in my opinion, because, and I implore fans, I always say this, to use your own mind. Like, if you like a content creator and he says something that you agree with, okay, that's fine, but don't just necessarily use that content creator's word as gospel. Do your due diligence, do your research, be a, you know, conscious consumer and things like that. And remember, the biggest thing about gaming is to have fun. A lot of us don't have fun streaming certain things that we get paid off of. It's just a reality as a content creator. In turn, things that we do enjoy sometimes never gets to come to light, because it's not a popular enough thing on one of these social media mediums or these entertainment mediums, that we just don't feel compelled to play it, and show you guys how much we care about this game. You know what I mean? So it's a weird dynamic. Bottom line is, be careful at who tells you what to play or how they feel about a game. At the end of the day, we all have our own minds. We all have our own tastes. We all have our own opinions. Utilize that. It's nothing wrong with going to someone that you respect or trust and seeing what they say about certain things. But at the end of the day, it all revolves around you as the viewer, not the content creator. Because at the end of the day, we're just such a small blip in the gaming pond. There's enough people that you know, that make games popular and lucrative without our help. See Call of Duty. That game continues to go like a juggernaut in sales. Or see Madden. Same thing. because people, regardless of what we say, if they're a fan of something or they want to play something, they will do that and they will enjoy it. And yeah, we could sit here and spit fire and brimstone, but at the end of the day, it's all about the gamer and what the gamer wants and how they feel about it. And if they're happy with it, who are we to try to like change their minds? Our influence definitely isn't as big as we think as content creators, and I think we need to ground ourselves in that. At the same time, I think these game companies need to maybe be a little more strict and be more thoughtful about who they allow to come in and preview games and how they view them, because there's been a lot of gems, I'm sure, that have gone by because content creators didn't play them, so nobody paid attention to them. Yeah, it's sad. It's very sad. But anyway, just wanted to get that whole rant off my chest. Anyway, as always, you guys feel free to hit me up. Let me know what you think, and I'll holler at you later. This your boy Blak Magus, and I'm out. Deuces.